Moving on to agenda item 6, recommendations from the School Task and Finish Group. And am I handing over to Kerry?
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, members. So the report in front of you is the recommendations that have been made from the School Transport Task and Finish Group. So going back, originally, school transport was raised as a notice of motion to Council in December 2024, and following that, an all-member workshop was held in April 2025. During this workshop, it was suggested to members that a task and finish group be established to consider just the discretionary elements of the school transport policy and whether any of these should be amended. A report was then taken to both the Education Overview Scrutiny Committee and Environment Overview Scrutiny Committee to seek support in setting up the Task and Finish Group. And following support of both of those committees, the Task and Finish Group was set up with members who sit on both of those committees. It was also suggested that the member who had originally submitted the notice of motion to Council be invited to sit on the Task and Finish Group as well. So just to clarify, the Task and Finish Group, the members who sat on that committee were Councillor Andrew Parkhurst, who chaired the meetings, Cllr Fran Lister, who was the Vice Chair, Councillors Bill Crease, Jason Shallcross, Roy Wakelum, Carolyn Priest and Councillor Alistair Ibbotson, who submitted the original notice of motion. The Task and Finish Group was also attended by both the Cabinet Member for Education, Welsh Language, Culture and Leisure and the Cabinet Member for Waste and Transportation, and a number of officers as well, namely the Chief Officer for Education, Youth and the Chief Officer Street Scene and Transportation, the Integrated Transport Manager, School Manager, Planning and Provision and Transport Manager. The first meeting of the Task and Finish Group was held in September, and the Task and Finish Group has met monthly since September, and it's been a really good Task and Finish Group, with them splitting up the discretionary elements of the Task and Finish Group and members going away, researching the discretionary elements and coming back with proposals on what changes they'd like to see based on the research that they've made. So, like I said, it was only the discretionary elements that the Task and Finish Group have been asked to look at, but they've also looked at vacant spare seats and transport to the nearest appropriate school, which you will see in the recommendations attached to Appendix 1. So moving on to Appendix 1, this lists all of the proposed recommendations to those discretionary elements. You will see that there's no proposed changes to the Welsh medium school transport. There is a recommendation to change to the benefit entitlement exceptional hardship clause, along with post-16 transport. Vacant spare seats, there isn't a proposed change to this, but the Task and Finish Group felt that views on vacant spare seats for non-eligible learners be included as part of the consultation process to gain views on that when the report goes back to Cabinet. The denominational faith school transport and transport to the nearest appropriate school. I would add that with these discretionary elements, as part of the work of the Task and Finish Group, legal advice has been sought on these recommended proposals. So these are based on legal advice from officers in the Council. Just to clarify, the proposal today is that both members of the Environment and Education Committee support that these proposals go forward to Cabinet. This would then commence a public consultation on those changes, with a final report following the consultation then going to Cabinet later in the year. Thank you, Chair.